Hello YouTube, Fuzz here, welcome back to Final Fantasy XII. This is week mode once again, and today we're actually going to be entering the Tomb of Wraithwall at last, which is great because if we can complete this place, we actually get access to our second job listings. So we're going to go ahead and hopefully do so. Do stick around and join me. If you enjoy watching, don't forget to leave a like, and let's get on with today's show. Alright then guys, so I have been dreading this place, mostly because of the demon wall that we have to fight. In the last playthrough that I did of this game, which wasn't week mode, I did struggle a bit with that fight, although I was using no licenses and no jobs up until that point, so hopefully we'll be able to manage it this time, even though we're stuck at our starting levels. Especially now we've got that awesome gun with Bash. I'm hoping we'll do a nice bit of damage each time he shoots with it. One of the downsides to fighting this demon wall is having to deal with the status ailments it throws at you, especially because you have limited time in order to take it down. But we'll see how we get on, shall we? So I am going to be using Ash as our healer and buffer, so that hopefully we can survive a little bit of the damage that comes our way, and there is quite a bit of it in this fight. So she's going to be removing oil, but that will come later. And Prince's Kiss removes sleep. And then also in my party we have Fran, who's going to be attacking with magic. Although in this case it's going to be wind magic. So we'll go ahead and just set that up. And then we're going to be using Bash, who's going to be our main damage dealer, but also temporarily our tank. And he's also going to be removing blind when need be. And then Ash, as I say, is going to be buffing as well as healing. So hopefully we should have a good setup here. We're going to go straight ahead and use the waystone in front of us. And nothing happens. So this time we're going to head down into the area where we're going to have to get ready to flee. So we will come back and fight this first demon wall a little bit later on, but right now it's just not worth it. Especially because the Demon's Bane Sword is no longer available at this particular point in the game. It was in the original Final Fantasy XII. Now it isn't.
Fight or run? We better decide fast.
So this guy has 22,000 hit points, I believe, along with a short amount of time you have to kill him before he crushes you against the door. So we will just come back and do that one later.
The wall comes. We must be quick. Together we can bring it down.
Right, so this one's a little bit easier, although that said, it's not particularly a walk in the park. And obviously we do have limited amount of time due to the fact that it is going to crush us if we're not careful. So just going to make sure that Franny's set up to cast arrow, and she should be doing that, yes. And we are also going to get decoy, and we're going to get Ash into buff status as well. So we can try and freeze him to halt the advance. As long as these don't turn blue, then we should be sorted. So Bash is doing 2,400 points of damage with his weapon. That's just lovely. So I think this is actually going to be easier than in the normal mode. But you have to have these kind of setups. You have to. I'm even going to turn off Bash's other gambit so he focuses solely. I'll keep his eye drops on just in case he gets blinded. But yeah, you do need to use different setups and whatnot for weak mode. And he's down. That was lovely. Beautiful. So that's why I recommended spending that amount of time farming the weapon for Bash that he's using. That's the Arcturus weapon. I do have the video out there if you don't have that for whatever reason by this point. Eventually we're going to have two machinists, so if you want to farm for two you can, but they are a real pain to get. But as you can see, one seems to be sufficient for the time being, that demon wall, which was a real pain on the normal mode playthrough, has all of a sudden become much easier. Solely thanks to that weapon. In fact, I wonder what the chances are of us taking down that first demon wall. Right, call me crazy. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm going to give this a go. And this is literally my first attempt, so I don't know how it's going to work out. And obviously there's no way to really know this is going to work until we try it. So let's just see. And we can't use the braziers on this particular attempt, so let's just keep smashing it. I did have the buffs active before we came into this particular fight. So this is the first demon wall that's a lot harder. It's got double the health. Telegar is absolutely a nuisance and it's put Ash out of the battle, which it does completely, by the way, for the rest of the fight. The only way to avoid that is by going into a new area, which obviously we can't do right now. Come on, come on, this is actually going to work. We've done it, we've killed the first demon wall, and our first visit to the Tomb of Wraithwall on weak mode. Oh, I'm loving this Arcturus, the gun that Bash is using, it's just fantastic. Look at him standing there, just single-handedly taking down the toughest fights. Right, which means we can actually go and get the item, which isn't a Demon's Bane, as I mentioned. It is a Scathe Mote, which probably isn't that exciting. One use of Scathe. I mean, Scathe's a nice spell, don't get me wrong, but... Ah, that's pretty awesome then. I did not think we were going to do that, and that's the truth, so... Good bonus there. Let's just first of all head back and heal up at the save crystal. Rightio, so we're going to head back to the jewel that was being blocked a moment ago. This is going to give us access to the area below. So obviously we can go down either side of the paths that have just opened up for us. And as well as getting the Scathe Mote that I mentioned to you a moment ago, you can actually kill some of the enemies down here for some decent amount of LP because they spawn quite regularly. That said, it can be a little bit of a challenge as well, so just bear that in mind. Head through the ancient door. Try and get my bearings here. All the way down the steps. Right, and there's that Scathe Mote. And then, as I say, you can farm some LP if you wish to do so. But that's pretty much all there is to do down here. So once you're happy and satisfied that you've gone ahead and experienced the full power of defeating the first demon wall, then it's time to head back to the start. Alright then guys, we're going to take a break now, and then in the next episode I'm going to take down Belias. So hopefully you'll come back and join me for that. I'm just going to go through the rest of the dungeon off camera since it's nothing spectacular, and if you don't know what you're doing with it, then you can always check out the video I made on the previous walkthrough on how to make your way through. So do come back and join me again soon. I'll look forward to it. And take care. Goodbye.